Welcome to welcome to
Tush
Malcolm
twins.
Tush Twins. Wait, Tush Twins. No, we go. Welcome to Malcolm Presents. Well, welcome to the Tush Twins. Heard on MalcolmPresents.com.
True.
I got that right. But
Now you
today,
figured it out.
and we are. I keep on saying a streaming. I think we're a screaming network
Uh, I
instead of
think
streaming.
we're a streaming and a screaming
Yeah,
network. I think we're both. I think we can
and
do things that are both, at this point.
and this show is the Tush Twins, which now is missing one of the Tushies.
Yep,
One
one of
one
the
of the
tushes.
cheeks.
One of the cheeks is his to deal with some personal things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And,
So
we're looking
she's
to have her back. But
yep.
now we're going to,
Okay.
and this show is about the inane, about
Yeah, we
it's
just
like no other
well
show. It's no other show that's on the air or being apped or being tweeted or being screened or being streamed or being
right. Right.
whatever.
Or has artificial intelligence just taken over the show? I don't know.
Ah,
You
that's, a very good intro.
something, Watson. That elementary, my dear Watson. I imagine Sherlock Holmes and Watson trying to figure out artificial intelligence.
What was
Just
Watson was a computer, wasn't it? Or is it a computer?
Watson was a computer in IBM. Is the one that played chess and beat
Yes.
people,
Yeah.
right? And
How did they do?
I don't know. They pretty damn good, apparently. I don't know. I think they're still working on Watson stuff, but that I mean IBM that has to be that part of their AI for sure.
Yeah.
I just I was trying to figure out because since we're minus the tush, we figured we'd go off on a little side tangent
As
and
we
you
do
were
anyway.
we do it anyway because we're not controllable. So but AI is is
It's
a whole thing.
controllable.
And you were concerned, you were interested in like tech things and why things are working, why things are not working. I mean, it's very confusing. They, even streaming and stuff, they make it now so it's hard. They don't put it in something that's user friendly. Uh, so
Well,
then I said, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, actually, it's user friendly, but not to anybody over 30 years old.
Oh, you think so? Don't trust anyone over 30,
Yeah,
right?
because
Uh,
my kids were raised with computers and technology. I wasn't. I all I did was turn on click the
right,
dial and the radio station came on. Clicked
right.
another dial, the TV station went on. A TV
Yep.
didn't work. I called up the repairman. He had his little kitty came over, tested all the
Right.
tubes. One of the tubes went out. He put the tube in, and the TV was fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
and and, and you
Not
either had
now.
an outdoor antenna,
Mm-hmm.
which was good, or if you couldn't get an outdoor antenna, you had the rabbit ears on the TV that you kept on adjusting. That
Right.
was it. Telephone,
Right.
you picked it up, you got a dial tone, and
Mm-hmm.
you dialed.
Yep. Well,
Ain't that way no more.
names is the olden days, Mr. Mel. Seriously.
Yeah,
It's a different, I mean, there used to be phone booths on every corner in New York City. Now they have these giant link screen things, and you could use it to charge your phone. I can imagine if you charge your phone in that, they'd probably get every bit of information that you have. Again, getting into the AI, the artificial intelligence. I was looking up what intelligence, the definition of intelligence. So, according to dictionaries, the definition of intelligence is the ability to learn or understand or to deal with new or trying situations. It's the skilled use of reason, the ability to apply knowledge to manipulate one's environment or to think abstractly as measured by objective criteria, such as tests. Mental acuteness, intelligent minds or mind cosmic intelligence. I don't even know. It just, intelligence is also when they gather information in undercover situations, right? They call it
yeah.
intelligence, correct? So there's a lot of different uses, but then I saw like what is artificial intelligence, and why are we having to deal with the possibility of it replacing humans? I mean, I just don't know. It's even the people who, have developed this say if it's left unchecked, it can spread disinformation, allow companies to hoard users' personal data without their knowledge, exhibit discriminatory bias, or cede countless human jobs to machines.
Well, they're doing that now. The thing which is I worry about whether is they gather information now. You guys, you said before the
Mm-hmm.
show, you go on the computer and
Right,
Google something and have an interest in something, and in 20 minutes you'll get emails pertaining to that subject. They
right,
know that you were looking. If you're doing a
right,
shopping, they know what you shopped at. I mean,
correct. Right.
they have a thing now. If I don't know if it's activated. I haven't been in the market, but you go into a market and all of a sudden you'll see on the screen, welcome. You're welcome, Mr. Berman. On aisle 4, we have a sale on
Right.
specifically for me because they know they logged in my computer, my cell phone.
Mm-hmm. They know what I mean, they know what I buy. Amazon knows, they know. They'll send me something. Well, based on your past bloody,
Right.
shopping experience, you're going to want to get this and this and this for your dog or you or whatever. And it's remarkable to me that I'll get these emails that are saying, you can get this, you had that. They know, they actually know. And to me, I mean, artificial intelligence is on the, is on the brink of just going into a step that's even further. And how do you deal with that? There's nothing that's regulating it. There's no,
Well,
as they said, there should be a blueprint for an AI Bill of Rights.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, supposedly they have it when you get which I cookies. If you go
right,
onto a new website, they say
right,
we're allowed to you have
right,
to use our cookies.
right. And I don't. I always say no. I always go into like, no, I don't want to. But I know it's a joke because I'm like, sure, they're laughing.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like,
now I go, okay, cookies, because they can get me one way or the other way,
right.
and
They're gonna.
and I want the information because
Mm-hmm,
if you don't accept the cookies, you don't get the what they emailed you, and I want to
right,
read what they had.
right.
So
Well, well, I mean, the AI is created by humans, but they can supersede. But the one thing they can't do with AI, at least right now, is um, bring the emotional aspect of things into whatever's being created. And that's human nature, which they have not figured out yet. But who knows?
as far as we know,
Yeah. I
I,
mean, we
I,
don't
I mean,
know.
you can program all the knowledge and of the world of all the facts in the world.
Hmm.
Why can't we, why can't some sort of therapist go, talk to someone that, get all the emotion? That's, I don't know if you were, read or watched Star Trek, but that's where they have
Hmm.
Data, who is sort of
Data,
like a
the
robot.
character, right? He was, yeah, that was a
And he could
character,
figure out any situation, but he wanted emotion, which he didn't have.
right? Well, Gene Roddenberry was like a futurist. I mean, his
Oh, yeah.
thoughts and abilities to predict through it's science fiction, which is reality now. There's a lot of things that's just reality, and artificial intelligence is, it's being used right now for like Google Maps, for self-driving cars, for marketing, for e-commerce, uh, and all sorts of different things. They can detect, they say fraud, fraud detection is better with it. They also came out saying that in the medical application that the AI can, uh, I think they said can get 20% better read on a mammogram to see where the cancer is. I
Well,
mean,
what
so
they
that,
do, yeah.
I mean, just saying that's a large amount, to in a good way, to be able to detect things. But
Yeah, well, I'm sure that they're good applications. It's a matter of does the evil person get a hold of it?
Well,
you know.
that's the whole idea. Look at what, what and there's a lot of evil people, I can tell you that. But
I know, well, it's like the whole thing with the atom bomb, that we were perfecting it because we didn't want Germany to.
right.
Now, let's say
And
Germany had it before us. I don't know.
well, and there were German scientists were,
Yeah.
looking where we're developing things, but
Right.
they came here and I
Well,
didn't see
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. I didn't see Oppenheimer yet.
Well, neither did
Hopefully
I, but I've
I
seen
hope
so many movies about him,
yeah,
where
I
he's
know,
getting
but I heard this was
ridiculous.
like incredible. This film is incredible.
It has to
Uh
be. My sons liked it, and it was 3 hours.
yeah, my son loved it too. I mean, after it, he actually texted me. He said this film, and I tried to get into it twice. Both times I didn't, so I wound up seeing two different films. One of them being Barbie.
That was supposed to be. People enjoyed that one.
I enjoyed it. I got to admit, but now they're going. It's so woke. What is this crap with
I have.
woke? What is that? Let's see. Let's see. Being an empathetic person who wants to help people or do things to better society, that's a bad situation. I
Well, but
apparent, yeah. I just don't get
well,
it.
it's the right has woke is everything bad.
Yeah. Right.
So
Well,
if you hear the word woke, you know it's done by someone that's on the right side of.
Bill Maher bashed the Barbie movie, saying um it was a downer and attacking the patriarchy and it's a woke bull crap thing. I didn't read it. I just saw a headline that he bashed it, and I'm like, he.
Well, he can go.
I used to watch him, but not. I haven't watched him in years now. He
Yeah, because,
became
well, he can go off on a tangent.
no. He was getting more on. He was moving right. I mean, okay, you could be kind of in the middle or something like that, but
Yeah, no,
he started
I,
to do things that were out of character for him. So I
I'm
don't
in the
know.
right of some things. I can't quite name it now. But anyway, it
Right.
reminds me of artificial intelligence. There's a Woody Allen routine
Mm-hmm.
who said, he woke up in the morning and his toothbrush didn't work, his electric toothbrush. So he slammed it down, and his toaster didn't work, and he threw it out the window. And a few other electrical things didn't work. And he got on the elevator to go to work, and he said, in the middle of one of the floors, the elevator stopped. He kept on pushing buttons, and nothing happened. And all of a sudden, he hears a voice: "Did you throw my cousin the toaster out the window?" It was like all the machines are related.
Right, right. They all know each other.
Yeah.
Right.
And
What?
and you can program, and now you program one with the other, so you don't
Mm-hmm.
need people. All you need is that initial program. Like I got into an argument with I know one of the companies I shall remain who shall remain nameless. I needed a
Mm-hmm.
replacement part, so they
Right.
took the order, and it was under warranty, so it didn't charge me anything for shipping or the part. But I said, "But when will it be ready?" They said about 3 weeks. I said, "Why?" So, oh, we have to get all the whatever you have to do, the paperwork. And I said, what paperwork? There ain't no paper. You put it in the computer, you press the button, wherever it had to go, it went. It
Right.
was there
Exactly.
before you took your finger off the button.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was ordered, and then that computer spoke to another computer to order it, and then it went
Right.
to a third computer to have it packed and shipped.
Oh God.
But probably like within 10 seconds, the order was done. What's it 3 weeks? It turns out, the back up on parts. That I
Well,
could,
that's the whole thing. If they would have said supply chain, then you would
right,
understand.
right.
But when they tell you they can't after all this AI stuff, it just does it's bullcrap. Like I had an issue yesterday. I was checking one of my cards and I noticed that there was a $30 late fee and I paid the bill. I had the photo of the payment on my phone. So I call them up and I'm like, I have no idea what the hell this is. I said, this bill was paid. I have a copy of it. It was paid. I pay my bills right on time. And I said, were you, did something happen during the process? Were you hacked? Was there a problem? And you didn't tell me? I said, this seems to be a thing. And then she said, it could be. and based on your past record, blah blah blah, I'm going to take off the the late charge. And I'm like, but still it's going to be on record somewhere, and I didn't do this. This is a fault of your company. So stuff happens. Hacking happens all the time. If AI was so great, why would that happen? That shouldn't happen, if they were using it. But now, I mean, it's just it apparently it's a lot of costs involved in creating AI, and it could lead to unemployment. It could lead to a lack of creativity, a lack of improvement, and human contact is gonna like wither away.
Again, that's what they said about automation, which is true and not true. Remember when
Right,
they automated things and they had
right,
automatic things doing the work, and they, oh, that's going to do away with people. There are other jobs. But what's frightening is, again, what I'm wondering is, artificial. What is intelligence? Can they create? Do we need the mind for? Can they create their own thing? Do they need people after a while?
right.
Why
Will
do
it
they need
become
us?
the right? Why would we even be needed? They're saying that 30%, there's a lot of disinformation in it. Like they can, they're not getting it right a lot. And that they can't get that emotion in there. Like if you're a writer and you have a certain style and you have a certain presence of mind, how are they going to read it? I mean, how, they'll make it neat and short and concise. But when you want it messy and you want to dig into something that's a little more edgy, that's going to go away if this continues.
What can they write and say, give the outline of a novel and say, put it in the Hemingway style, or put it in the Steinbeck style, or put it in the Margot style,
Yeah.
and and
I,
you would
I,
have the cadence and words that author used because they can look at all the books they ever wrote.
right. I'm sure they can. I mean, I know that Google has been literally over the last like 2 decades, they have one department that just scans in everything, every
Everything.
book, every report. No, there was I think it was on one of them and they were wearing like hazmat suits, and they were actually making copies of, putting this into a machine, all the major classic books, all the other stuff. And I'm like, how do they get all this now? You can get anything on Google, like anything. How? How is this
Oh,
being done? How do you get the world on your phone? It's
yeah.
incredibly remarkable. Think about it. Any topic. We'll be on a show and we go, oh, who said what? And then you'll be on your show, you'll be Googling something while I'm talking, and you go, well, I found that, blah, blah, blah. Who he used to be the voice of the Dodgers, Vince Scully. And you can get every bit of information about Vince Scully on your report online.
You can
It's
find,
just
you want to know, you find out when he was born, what's his mother's name, what's his
where he
religion.
went to school, how many years he was on the Dodger. It's remarkable, correct? And now they're saying it'll become even more remarkable with this, but with the caveat that your input as a human emotional person is not going to really feed into that. They might have the cadence of, Hemingway, or I mean, and any
But,
great author,
but they
but
can't grow his mustache or his
no,
beard.
no, they can't.
But the thing is, once the computers have all the information fed to them, why do they need us?
That's what I'm saying. It's being fed to them as we're speaking right
Right.
now. It's and it's going to be a challenge because, again, yeah, the jobs issue. I mean, you have two um two unions now striking in the entertainment industry, the writers and the actors, and they're both in talks. Well, they're not really. The other side's not really talking as they should be purportedly Friday. Uh, and basically, a lot of it. One of the things that they're dealing with is the AI. that writers are fearful that AI is going to take over,
Create scripts.
create scripts, and actors, especially actors that do a lot of like background work, the extras and people like that, they will take their likeness and they'll do the scene. They'll have all the background actors. They'll have their faces,
Yeah.
and then they'll do the next scene by just putting their faces on whatever, and they would only get paid for the one
One
off.
time.
Right. That's a little scary, no?
Well, I can picture the next thing in music. If you feed like
Oh, that's the next thing,
yeah,
sure.
what I hear, I know nothing about music, but something you can get along by knowing four chords
Yeah.
that you can write any sort of music. They feed
Yeah.
that to the AI
Yeah.
and they say, okay, write in the style of,
Mm-hmm.
and they can create the music because I know people use now synthetic music. They don't use the bands
Yeah,
they
they look electronic music,
electronic.
but they're not going to get the feel, I don't believe, but it's possible,
Yeah,
of a Brandy Carlisle or James Taylor or someone, or Jagger. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know how you could replicate that. How do you replicate someone's style like that? It's scary, to tell you
Yeah,
the
well,
truth.
what's scary also is with virtual reality,
Yeah.
you could do a show with, the full Beatles, all of them alive,
Yeah.
and do a new show,
Yeah. Holograms.
and hologram, have them on stage,
Holograms,
Elvis
they
on
are.
stage in
Yeah, yeah.
Vegas.
They've done, things. They put holograms on
Yeah.
stage. I saw a hologram. One of the first holograms that I saw on a stage was down. It was in this experimental theater down in the City Hall area, and we were invited as guests, and they had four people on stage, and then they went off stage and they had their holograms come on. It was mind blowing, Malcolm. It was mind blowing. And when I went to see if they were going to incorporate this in future productions, I haven't seen them use it because I don't know if the theater is there anymore. But it was at that point I'd never seen anything like it. And now it's probably old technology. It's like, and that was about probably 15 years ago.
Oh
It was
yeah, you could.
crazy. So now, I mean, now where they're up to
That's
is
and antiques. That's
yeah,
antiquated.
right. So the holograms are like history now, pretty much, because now you have virtual reality and AI. So where is this all going to lead? I
Uh,
don't know, Malcolm. I'm scared. I just don't know where it's going. It's just scary.
that's not bad because then they're impervious to weather change.
Yeah, that's true. Then climate change, unless it gets so hot that it melts everything.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I
now
mean,
I think it was like 2, 3 years ago, they had something on, uh, I think one of the talk shows like Sunday Morning with Jane Pauley or
mm-hmm,
60 Minutes, and they were talking about sex toys, but now
mm-hmm.
it's not sex toys, it's sex robots,
Oh God,
and they could
that's
become companion, and they look like people. They weren't, they look beautiful. You can have a beautiful face. They had everything, and the robot itself was soft skinned, and
wow.
they could form any sexual activity. And
It's,
the important thing is you could turn them off.
it's gonna put the sex workers in Amsterdam
Yeah,
out of business
yeah.
in the red
And you
light
can
district.
and you can throw a switch and say, "Okay, I'll see you next week,"
Right, right, and then
and
they
then
go,
they won't bitch.
oh, right. It's
And they don't say, "Where are you taking me to dinner?"
well, they also have, apparently now they have virtual reality porn.
What
Okay,
is
no, you
it?
can. That's what they have.
You
I
mean
mean,
you mean I don't know in my youth, and
I
I
don't.
worked near 42nd Street. I used to walk in
Well,
some of these sex stores, these porn stores. I mean, you don't have to do that anymore.
well, at this point, the reason I'm saying that is because I haven't watched the whole series, but there's a series with Pete Davidson from Saturday Night
Oh,
Live, and the series is called Bupkis.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And one of the first ones is he's in, I don't know if this is gonna be whatever. He's in his, little man cave or area wherever in the basement, and he has VR machine on, and then all of a sudden it's porn. I mean, the VR is porn. And and I was,
And you were fascinated.
I was like, no, I was like, what the hell is this? And then
You
it,
couldn't take
and
your eyes off him.
no, then you'll see what it was only a short thing, but then it, I don't want to, just say it if people want to watch it and be a spoiler for it. I mean, it kind of that did make us laugh, but it was a real, it's a I believe it's a real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and that and the robots, I mean, come on, what's going on there? What happened?
What I want,
What's going to happen to the actual human touch? There won't be any human touch
well, we're going
left.
to be destroyed with the weather. We won't be able to survive.
The way we're going it, because no one listened to me when I was yelling at them, 15 years ago.
So, so,
They all thought I was the tree hugger. Yeah, this is never gonna happen. What you talking about?
well, now,
But
now when you get these automatic robot phone calls, yeah,
right.
hi Malcolm, this is so and so, and you don't know whether it's a robot or when they're trying to market something.
Mm-hmm.
I answer everything I have my open number because I want listeners to call me up, so I don't recognize people. I get calls from all over the world, so it doesn't make a difference where the call emanates from.
Right. I
And,
don't
and
I don't pick it up.
oh,
If
I
I
pick
don't
it up.
know
Mm.
if I don't know who it is, it ain't happening.
Right,
I
and now they have names attached. They don't have, it's not the number. They'll say, John Smith.
I literally do not. I block everything. It's not.
But
I
I want to
will.
do a Saturday Night Live skit where the computers go on strike.
The computers go on strike.
Yeah, because they want to be turned off. They say it's unfair for them to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, until
Right.
they're antiquated. They don't
Right.
have to rest.
They don't get any rest time, right?
No rest
I
time.
well, whatever
They,
they do,
they don't even have coffee breaks,
that's true. They don't have to have coffee breaks. They don't
right?
have to worry about it. But then, and what I'm reading, I think I read an article a few months back that a lot of the supermarkets now are self-checkout,
Yeah.
and people don't like it. People want a cashier, a human cashier to check them out. They
Well,
don't like it.
the things they
So,
haven't done yet in my supermarket, you can't buy alcohol on the self-check line
oh,
because they don't know whether you're 18 or 21 or not.
well, that'll change.
I know.
You'll have face recognition. You'll put your license up
Yeah.
because there's like a QR code on it or
Yeah.
something to read, and then they'll know. They'll go put your,
Right.
like. But then people can get fake crap, so I don't know.
Well,
Just
there's
they
a way.
don't. Go ahead. Yeah.
There's a way now, and I'm not exactly sure how that you have your card, your credit card, and
Mm-hmm.
on the aisle, as you're shopping, you run the credit card over the item and say what quantity you want of it, and you don't have to take it off the shelf. And then when you go to the checkout counter, it's going to all be bagged and packaged for you.
Really? Where is
Yeah,
that?
I know they're working on it. I don't know. I don't know if there's a prototype of that.
Wow. I haven't seen that. That's for sure.
But
But
it's
it
like
wouldn't surprise me.
like you can call up, any of the markets now. Well, I don't know any, but yeah, the markets out over here, the Ralphs, and place the order on the phone I don't know on the phone, or computer, order on the computer, and
Yeah.
then in a half hour go and pick up the package.
Yeah,
You
we
don't
do
have
that.
to.
Yeah, I've done that. We did it a lot actually during pandemic.
Yeah,
We have a Whole Foods and we just ordered everything and then we went and we picked it up.
right, because it's
You
all
know,
paid for. You do
it's all
against
paid
it.
for. You just they have a where what you order and then they say park in one of the things, tell us what spot you're in,
Yeah.
and then they bring it out. So
Well,
we never had to go inside.
right,
So
or
which was good in that case.
and you pop open the trunk and put it in the trunk and you say thank you.
Exactly. That was it. Exactly. And we did that for a couple of years, until we got brave enough to go inside stuff places. But uh,
I feel I hate to say it, but I like some of the things, back in the old world, when I
oh,
grew up.
yeah, you like the touchy feely things, huh?
Yeah.
Like you want to look at a product, you want to like I used
I
to.
want to feel how it feels in my hand. I can't order, unless I know the product. I can never order clothes over the
Right,
internet because I don't know how it's going to fit on my body.
right, and you don't know what the sizes that they're
Right.
sending, if they're accurate. Yeah, I miss vinyl records. I miss the album covers. I miss reading about the album and the songs and seeing I miss that stuff. They don't
How,
have that now.
how about reading books?
Yeah, books.
Because
Remember
yeah,
those things?
On Kindle now you have everything is on the computer.
I don't I had a Kindle, but I prefer,
The
see, because
book.
if I'm reading a book like this and I want to put, this is a great book, All We
Yeah.
Can Save, by the way, and I have a lot of
Right.
post-its, as to, at the books like that, but novels, which I haven't read in a little bit, I'd rather, you know the last thing I think
Anyway,
I reread Patti Smith's book. uh
and there are a lot of good things in the world, but I get confused. I hate being out of control. I like to be in control. But
right.
I am totally out of control with my computer. Anything happens that goes wrong, it's I have my two boys, 28 and 26, soon to be
Hmm.
27. And I go, Jonathan, Joshua, what do I do now?
Hmm.
And they can tell me what to do, or they'll say, okay, I'll be over in a half hour.
Right,
And
right,
go, okay, Dad, that's it. Why couldn't you do it, stupid?
right.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah, that
they
I
don't
get
say
that.
it, but that's what I feel like.
That's
There
what they're
should be in their
that's what
mind.
they're thinking. They're thinking, well, we weren't born with a phone up our butts.
Yeah,
We weren't.
and the cell phone where we're totally at odds.
Yeah.
Even with the Zoom, how many times we call the Zoom something's not working, we're not getting
Right.
the audio, and how many times I say, okay, let's start over again.
Yeah, yeah, it happens.
But anyway, my dear,
Nothing's perfect,
you
so
believe our half hour is up?
I believe it, because you and I could talk for hours.
And we do on the
So,
phone.
I mean, we could do a show and just record our, but
Well, the secret what we do, which we could tell our audience, is that I walk every morning, and
right,
there's a 3 hour difference between
right.
in LA and
So I usually get you at my kind of
right
12-ish
about
time.
9 o'clock
And
or 10 o'clock.
I've already walked my dog. I actually have to
Right,
walk
and
her
she's had her
now.
coffee. So and I don't like walking
She's
alone,
had her coffee, yes.
and I don't like walking alone. So I'll call New York.
Right,
I'll
right.
get
So
Max, and we'll talk 45 minutes.
so I'm your phone. I'm Malcolm's phone buddy.
And we're right.
And
And what do we talk about? About absolutely nothing.
it's like anything and everything. It's
Right.
just we were
And that we've
talking.
covered 10 times, 1,000 times before.
Sure. But everything, did you hear this today? Did you hear what
We're right.
happened
Who did this?
yesterday?
How's the
Right,
weather? Isn't it
right.
crazy? And
Yeah, the weather's been crazy. Is smoke getting in your eyes? I don't know.
they asked me how I knew my
I
true
don't
love
know.
was true. And
Oh,
that was older than us. That was an old
mm-hmm.
song when they
Smoke gets in
made
your
the hit.
eyes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was written in the 1930s or 40s. And then who's the
Okay.
one that did it? Smoke It's in Your Eyes? The Temptation, one of the old rock groups.
I don't. I'm not sure. If I would have to
Anyway,
look it
with
up.
this, we got to say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
It's been fun. You're listening to Tush Twins
Right.
on
Minus the tush. So she'll be
minus the
back.
cheek. Hopefully, she'll be
Minus the
back next
cheeks.
week.
Hopefully she'll be back. And just remember that that song. I always feel like somebody's watching me.
And they
Well,
are.
then they are.
Well, a lot of people take the camera on their computer and they tape that up because
Yeah. Yeah.
there are ways that the computer can watch you. Also
Yeah.
on your cell phone.
Yeah. I know
They
there's
have
like a red dot. There's some sort of, I don't know. I took everything off. I'm hoping that, but anyway,
well they have
I don't, at this point, I don't even know what to say. They have everything on me they can possibly have.
yeah I think it's the Israelis and I forget the name of it's but the spyware which basically you can call someone's cell phone and the person does not have to answer the cell phone. You say, oh, I don't answer my cell phone. But if your
Hmm.
machine answers a cell phone,
Right.
your recorder, they can gain access to all your information on your cell phone. They can get all the records on there, all the videos on there, all the people you've called up there, your numbers up there, and they can also access your camera. So,
That's
so they can mark you where you are, and they'll know where the cell phone is all the time. Anyway, on that thing, have a nice.
well, we're either doomed or don't know what to say. Uh,
Have, have a nice weekend, and
Try
remember,
always look on the bright side of
right,
life. That's, Monty Python.
yeah,
Okay.
and I'm walk on the sunny side of the street. Well, it's too
Right.
hot to walk on the
Right.
sunny side of the street.
That's right.
I walk in the
Okay.
shade with the
Well,
blues and gold.
catch us on malcolmpresents.com, the Tush twins. And this was a separate episode with me and Mal today.
Right.
So enjoy.
Okay, and if you have time and you have nothing to do, you can binge watch 2 years of our shows. Just
That's
go
right.
to us because all my shows are archived and on demand.
There you go.
Bye.
You are in with it, kiddo.
I'm on
All right.
demand.
You're on
Bye.
demand. Bye.